One of the things that we have seen that characterizes the great organizations is that they have a cult-like culture. A cult-like culture existing in the sense that we cannot have people within an organization whose value systems are too much at variance with each other and at variance with the organizational values. But when you have a 28-year-old HR executive hiring purely on the basis of a mail he has received from some operational head that we require such and such resource for doing such and such work, when you have that kind of a hiring process, then you simply cannot hire people on culture. Also, when you have this kind of a culture that professionals act as mercenaries to join organizations and then quit in 6 months and 2 years or 2 years time and go to some other place where they are being hired, offered a higher salary or something. Then this in and out movement is purely on the basis of money and other interests. Then there remains no question of a cultural fit. You see a call center, in that people industry where the attrition rates are terribly high, it is impossible to expect that there would be any kind of uniformity of culture or values within. You require so many people that you hire anybody who comes provided he has the requisite skills. Similarly in the IT industry. It is very difficult to have people who belong to the same kinds of value mindset. With the result that the organization itself becomes a mercenary, working only and only towards some numerical profit-based targets. And then in that scenario, it is impossible that you have that equation prevailing. Individual is equal to the organization equal to the job. Then you have none of these three equal to each other and all of them are equal to only monetary maximization. Individual is looking at monetary maximization, so is the organization, and the whole purpose of the job is that it fits in a matrix and maximizes the monetary part. Maybe I'm giving you a negative example on the opposite side. That how does it happen that there is no question, that there often arises no question of value fit? That happens one, because the hiring manager himself often has no idea of what the values of the organization are. Even prior to that, sometimes the organization actually has no value, which is the case in 80% of the studies. The organization stands for nothing, actually nothing, or it just nominally stands for something, so that it may have a nice looking vision of real estate. Nothing more to that. So the organization will stand for nothing. Even if the organization does remotely stand for something, it is possible that the hiring manager has some idea. Even if the hiring manager has some idea, then the demand may be so high or the attrition rate may be so high that you just have to hire people on skill. In such cases, and that is the case you find everywhere. And in these cases, there is no question that when you enter an organization, you will feel, well, I have come to a place where I belong. Belongingness cannot take place, and you will never feel that this is a place for my kind of people. If that happens, that will just be a coincidence. That may happen. So 5% of you, that may happen, but that will just be a coincidence. Then the question arises, under what situations is it possible to have a cult-like prevalence within the organization? One, the organization cannot be too huge. Second, it's a top-to-bottom thing. People at the top must have first a culture of their own, must first stand themselves for some value. Only then it can flow downstairs. Otherwise, there is no question. What you see all around you is clearly the kind of कहीं जगह पे स्विच होना है. The hiring manager himself has targets just as a marketing man has. अगले 1 महीने में इतनी वैकेंसी फिल करनी है. अब उसमें ये थोड़ी देख रहा है कि whether the individual is equal to the job. वो ये देख रहा है कि आपके पास वो सारी योग्यताएं हैं कि नहीं which will enable him to just tick the boxes. So what are the boxes? One, he has to be a postgraduate. So are you a postgraduate? Show the degree. If you are a postgraduate, one box tick. He must have between 3 and 6 years of work experience. So you have 4 years of experience, another box tick. He must be ready for outstation travel. Are you ready? Yes, another box tick. He must be prepared to work in this salary range. Are you prepared? Yes, another box tick. He must be prepared to join before the 16th of the next month. Are you prepared? Yes, another box tick. Now in this whole process, there is no question of any concern about the individual being equal to the job. कुछ बॉक्सेस हैं वो आप अगर टिक कर रहे हो तो आपका सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा. You understand? अब फिर ऐसे में you have all kinds of random, conflicting, diverse currents in the organization. You stand for yourself, you stand for yourself, she stands for herself, and there is no harmony. There is no harmony at all. Everybody is a mercenary pursuing only a limited version of his self-interest. And everybody is frustrated, equally frustrated. And then no wonder the attrition rates are high and all kinds of problems are there, and you require all kinds of checks and balances and audits so that people do not run away with money and things like that. Which is of course the case. If you ever walk inside the premises of an organization which has a certain culture, which has a certain rootedness, then you will realize that place has a different ambience altogether, totally different ambience. Unfortunately, it is unlikely to be a large organization. It is a very small one. This is like Apple. This is like Apple. And Google. You see, excellence has a culture of its own. Excellence has a culture of its own. So when you have a Google that hires only from the top-notch universities, absolutely top-notch places, and there it looks only at the toppers, indirectly what it is ensuring is that it is bringing in people who have at least one thing common in their culture, excellence. तो जितने भी लोग आ रहे हैं वहाँ पे recruitment के द्वारा भी और कुछ common होना हो, एक चीज़ तो common होती ही है, that they all are excellence pursuers. उनके तरीके अलग हो सकते हैं, but all through their life, that is what they have done. They have pursued excellence. They stand at the top of their professions. Studies, academics, anything. तो उन लोगों को ही वो हायर करते हैं. So with the result that indirectly they manage to have a common culture. In the sense that if one fellow is working at 11 in the night, the other fellow will not say, oh my God, it's 11 and you are still working. Because this one is the topper of his university and this one is the topper of his university. Throughout their lives, both of them have stopped, and for both of them it comes very naturally that work has a certain joy of its own and it requires you to be there till 11. So this one is doing and this one is finding it perfectly alright. Okay. So there comes a commonality of culture. Yes, sir. The companies that uptake in the Chinpolan study do not appear to Google and Apple. Actually, that study itself is not 10 years old. That includes companies like HP, Sony, IBM, Johnson and Johnson, Norton. ये सारी कंपनीज हैं. Read it. It's nice. Very nice. When the findings apply to the profit and non-profit, they cut across all sectors.